Hello, my name is Allison and I will be guiding you through your yoga practice today. I just want to preface by saying that this practice is solely for you and you do what serves your body and your mind and that connection that we will cultivate together. So we will begin with at the back of your mat with your knees as wide as your mat in child's pose and your heels behind you to touch. Placing your head down against your forehead, extending your arms out long, begin to settle in. Notice your breath here. Let's inhale through your nose, filling up your stomach like a balloon, and an audible exhale. Inhale and exhale. Throughout practice today, we will be flowing breath to movement, as this will be a Vinyasa flow. On your next inhale, make your way up to a tabletop position with a neutral spine, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, reaching the crown of your head forward and your tailbone back, as if there's one long line of energy going through your body along your spinal cord where your chakras are located. Today we will be focusing on the idea of your heart chakra and leading with your heart. On your next inhale, find a micro bend in your elbows and move into your cow position, sending your tailbone to the sky, your third eye center up into the sky, letting your heart shine through. And exhale, cat pose. Doming your back, sending your navel into your spine, head down. And inhale, cow pose. Letting your heart shine through. Exhale, cat. Now you may begin to move through your cat-cows at your own pace, your own breath movement, as well as finding some organic movement if you'd like to find some head circles or hip swivels. Anything that your body is calling for, feel free to pursue. On your next inhale, you're going to tuck your toes and push into a downward facing dog, sending your tailbone to the sky, grounding your feet and your heels. Don't worry if they don't touch the mat. You're looking to create an inverted V position. Make sure to lower your shoulders so they're not so close to your ears. Squeezing your abdomen. Pressing weight into your hands, especially the L's of your fingers to protect your wrists. On your next inhale, tiptoe your feet up behind your hands and hang heavy. Let your head fall heavy. There should be no crinkles along your neck. Feel free to find a bend in your knees in order for your hands to touch the ground. You can rock slightly forward and back along the toes and heels of your feet, just to find that center of gravity and feel your body move. On your next inhale, you're going to rise up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, with your head and neck last to lift. And we will find some shoulder rolls backwards and reverse forwards. Meeting your hands at heart center, your thumbs pushing against your sternum. You may close your eyes or find a gentle gaze downward. Feeling your thumbs against your heart space. This is where we will be tapping into today, allowing to lead with love and light. Inhale And exhale. Lower your hands. Throughout class, anytime your hands are up to your own interpretation of movement or organic freedom, you may have your palms facing outward, inviting energy in, or downwards for grounding purposes. We will meet our hands back at our heart center and move into a mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel all four corners of your feet grounded into the mat. You may find a slight micro bend of your knees if you like, just so your knees aren't locked. You want to find some breathable movement, right? Inhale, squeezing your navel into your spine, squeezing your abdomen. Imagine there's a string on the top of your head, and if I were to pull it, you would lift out of your knees, lift out of your hips, through your spine, chin up, and breathe. Bring your hands down to your heart center. And forward fold. Just going to turn sideways so you can see my full body. On your next inhale, halfway lift, bringing your fingertips to your shins or your thighs, wherever you'd like. Here you want to find engagement in your glutes, keeping a flat back, squeezing your glutes, separating your shoulder blades, crown of your head reaching forward, and release. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place your palms down, stepping your feet back into a high plank. Hold here. Let's go over what our body should be doing during this high plank. You want your wrists underneath your shoulders. You want to send your heels to the back of the room, creating one long line of energy from the crown of your head down your spinal cord and out through your legs. Hinge 2 inches forward, squeezing your abdomen, and lower halfway down. Elbows remain at your ribs. Squeeze. Tuck your toes. Exhale into an upward facing dog. Keep your knees lifted off the mat for that extra engagement. And inhale, push back into your downward facing dog. Let's find a few breaths together in this down dog. As this is our first downward dog of class, there's always a lot of tightness that you can engage and observe just in your body. You want to walk your feet out, pedal them left, right. Feel your legs in what is calling for you. If you want to bend both your knees, push back. Think of getting your chest to your thighs. That's a great visual for creating a downward dog. And go ahead and walk your feet back up to your hands. And let's meet rolling up into Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale. You may turn your fingers inward, pinkies leading, to engage your bicep muscles. And we're going to go into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Chair pose is what we like to call a yogi squat. You want your feet, knees, and hips aligned, or if you'd like to bring your feet together, you may. Squeezing your abdomen, squeezing your glutes, your tailbone reaching out, the crown of your head, and airplane arms. Bring those arms up behind you with your pinkies leading forward. Inhale, chair. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold down. Planting your hands, pushing back into a high plank. I'm going to demo what we just did called a Chaturanga Dandasana. If you'd like to find a comfortable seated position on your mat, I will demo our variations for our Chaturanga. The first variation is what we did together as a class, beginning in high plank. Hinge 2 inches forward, lowering halfway down, keeping your elbows at your rib cage. Squeeze. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lifting your knees above the mat, letting your heart shine through, leading with heart, your heart leading with love and leading with light. Tuck your heels and push back into your downward facing dog. That would be your first variation. Your second variation, beginning in high plank, hinge 2 inches forward, lowering your knees down to focus more on the bend in your biceps, and lower halfway down and hold. Tuck your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. The third variation is to go from your high plank, hold your high plank as I cue through upward facing dog, and then push back into your downward facing dog. Let's try it all together. Meet me in a high plank position. Hinge forward 2 inches. I'm going to go for the second variation this time. Lower halfway down, squeezing your elbows in at your ribs. And inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's walk our feet up behind our hands. And rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Now let's move into our inhale, mountain pose Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Sending the crown of your head forward, squeezing your glutes, pulling your shoulder blades away from your ears, and feeling the squeeze between your traps. Exhale, high plank. Hinge 2 inches forward, Chaturanga Dandasana, your variation. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, meet in a three-legged downward dog, lifting your right foot up, keeping your toes pointed downwards in order to keep your hips aligned. And exhale, bringing that knee through, hold at your chest, lead with your heel, plant that heel down, and you're in a lunge position. Hands on either side of your foot, creating a long line of energy. On your next inhale, rotate into a warrior 2 position, keeping the right foot facing the top of your mat. Left foot is on the knife edge of your foot, leaning into your warrior 2. You're trying to find a 90-degree angle in your front leg. Arms are strong with power, exuding a line of energy through your fingertips. And extended side angle. I'm going to flip this way. Exhale, extended side angle, bringing your palm down to your calf. You may rest your elbow on your knee if you'd like. You're squeezing your psoas muscles here on your sides in order to keep you lifted. Left arm up in the sky. For an added balance challenge, you may turn your left hand and look up at your fingertips. Exhale, reverse warrior. Bringing your right arm up. Your left hand can remain on your back of your thigh or finding a bind around your hips. Keeping the integrity in your front leg. Don't forget about that 90-degree angle. And exhale, cartwheel your hands down onto either side of your foot, stepping your right foot back. Meeting in a high plank. You can guess what's next. Hinge 2 inches forward, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower halfway down and squeeze. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's go back to our intention and remember to lead with our hearts. Lead with love and light. So let's focus on that. Now that we have the sequence and the flow down, let's channel that love. Inhale, lifting your left foot, three-legged downward dog. Exhale, bringing that foot in between your hands into a low lunge. Lead with your chest, lead with your heart. And your next inhale, I'm going to do it this way. Inhale, warrior two. Turning your back foot down onto your knife edge of your foot. If you need to wiggle your feet to find a better position, feel free to do so. Exhale, extended side angle, bringing that left hand down near your calf. You may rest your elbow as long as you are engaging and squeezing here to your psoas muscles. Keeping that 90-degree angle. And exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Leading with our heart, allowing love and light to come through and out of our body on each inhale and exhale. Inhale, cartwheel your hands down to either side of your mat, sending your left foot back to meet your right in a high plank. Hinge 2 inches forward, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower and squeeze. Exhale, upward facing dog. Here's that part of your heart that's shining through. Not only during our yoga flow, we focus on this, but on our day-to-day lives. And exhale into downward facing dog. So often I find myself just going through the motions, just getting things done, going to work, coming home, studying for this, studying for that. I'm doing what I love, but why am I not leading with love? So important. And I'm going to have you find a gentle, comfortable seat wherever you like, if it's on your knees, if it's crisscross applesauce, whatever you please. Now we're gonna make our way down onto our backs and go through a core abdomen workout. On your backs, lower down, and we are going to bring the soles of our feet together into Supta Baddha Konasana. With your hands behind your ears, keeping your elbows out wide, squeezing the soles of your feet, pressing those feet together to engage and lift, squeeze, and lower. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Make sure you are lifting your shoulders up, keeping your eye looking up at the ceiling or the sky in my case. You want to be doing this and using the strength from your abdomen rather than just curling your neck. We're going to do 16 more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halfway there. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing your knees into a reverse tabletop position, knees stacked over your hips. You can flex your toes or point your toes, whatever you please. And we're going to move into bicycle sit-ups, having your hands where they were before, behind your ears. And lift your shoulders up. And we're going to go to the right, squeeze, and center, squeeze. Left, squeeze, center, squeeze. Keeping your shoulders lifted off the mat the entire time. Left, squeeze, center, right, center, left, center. Make sure you're taking your elbow to your knee rather than your knee to your elbow. Do you see the difference here? Coming up, squeeze, squeeze, right, squeeze, left, squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, and you can roll onto your stomach. And we're going to find a little upward dog here to really stretch out our abdomen. Awesome. And push back into child's pose. This child's pose may feel a lot different from the child's pose at the beginning, now that we've really been moving our body, working our muscles, and leading with our hearts, most importantly. Let's make our way into a downward facing dog. Once again, meet there when you're ready. If you'd like to take a quick sip of water, towel off, anything you please. We'll meet in downward dog in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. We're going to walk our toes forward and hang heavy, ragdoll pose. Feel your chest onto your thigh. We're going to give our lower back some release here. Your head hangs heavy. There should be no crinkles along your neck. You can rock forward and backward on your toes and heels if you like. And release, exhale. And we're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Your head and neck are last to lift. Now we're going to lower back down onto our lower back here. You're going to take your right foot into a seated figure 4 position. Bring your left leg up. You can grab your hands around the back of your left leg. If you'd like to take your hand or your elbow and push that right knee back to find a greater stretch. Inhale and audible exhale. Switch sides, left foot seated figure 4. Find a bind behind your legs, pushing that left knee back. Inhale and audible exhale. Bringing your knees into your chest. Squeeze all of your muscles right here. And release. Your legs straight out in front of you. Go ahead and grab your right knee, bringing it towards your armpit. You may flex your feet or point your feet, however you choose. And we're going to go for a supine twist. Taking your right knee, bringing it over your left side, stacking your hips on top of each other, goalpost your arms, and gazing over to the right. You want to feel that twist along your spinal cord. Keeping your shoulders down is an added challenge to feel that extra twist. Inhale and audible exhale. Bringing your right leg back to your knee. Give it a hug, give it a good squeeze. We love our body and what it does for us. And inhale, bringing your left knee up into your armpit, pointing or flexing your toes. And inhale, bringing your left knee over, supine twist, stacking your hips on top of one another, keeping your shoulders pressed down. Goalpost your arms and gaze over to your left hand side. Breathe into the twist, breathe into the stretch. Inhale. And audible exhale. Grabbing your left knee, bringing in, giving it a hug, because we are grateful for what our bodies do for us. Extending your legs back out. One final big squeeze. We lead with love, we lead with light, and so much gratitude. Exhale into your final resting position, Shavasana, also known as corpse pose. Allow your legs and arms to find a natural resting position. Let your body melt into your mat. Your shoulders feel heavy. Your lower back melting away. Your legs pressing in. Your calves. Feel your calves along your mat. If you want to keep your arms by your side, you may. You may put them on your stomach, above your head. Anything that feels most comfortable for you. I'm so grateful for you all participating in this class today. Thank you so much. It really warms my heart. It reminds me of my why and why I want to do this and pursue this. This is something that is in my heart and that I want to practice leading my heart with and leading with love through my teaching as well as through my day-to-day life. I hope you can take a piece of that with you. Whenever your body feels ready, let's bring some awareness back. You can wiggle your fingertips, wiggle your toes, roll out your wrists, your ankles. A big wall-to-wall stretch, bringing your arms above your head, reaching, and exhale. Roll onto either side of your body, your left or right side, using your bicep as a pillow. Making your way up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed. Bringing your hands to your heart center, your thumb pressed against your sternum. That beating sensation is so special and reminds us of who we are. Lifting your thumbs up to your lips, reminding us to speak truth and to speak kindness. Lifting your hands to your third eye center, the space in between your eyebrows, the space of light, wisdom, and intuition. We bow our heads forward, sealing our practice from my heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you so much. I'm so happy you spent time with me, finding your flow, leading with love and light. Namaste.